Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be showing you how to install your RCBS rock chucker on your Frankfurt Arsenal Premier reloading bench that I picked up over at Brownells. This is going to be a fun video, so stay tuned. Let's get down, but let's thank the video sponsor. This video is proudly sponsored by Anderson Manufacturing. If you have ever wondered on building your own AR-15, Anderson Manufacturing is where it's at. With their affordable, low receivers, or if you want to buy a tricked out AR-15 like the Anderson Frontline, which we've proudly showed here on the channel, they got you covered. They are an American-made business right in Hebron, Kentucky, built in the US, great customer service, and they have a quality product. If you want to get into AR-15 building or just get into AR-15s, Anderson is where you want to go. Thank you, Anderson Manufacturing, for sponsoring today's video. Big shout out to Anderson Manufacturing for sponsoring today's video and the channel, podcast, all that stuff. Make sure you check them out. You save some really good money over at you know what, the website. Check it out. So guys, we finally are able to install this RCBS rock chucker onto the reloading bench. This series has been a long time in the making. Now I will say from the get-go, it gives you pretty much everything in the RCBS Master Rock Chucker Reloading Kit except for dies, which I went ahead and I picked up some Lee Precision 450 Bushmaster dies. RCBS does have them, but I was able to actually pick some up at Brownells for a little bit cheaper. Lee dies are kind of the affordable one. They do work in the RCBS rock chucker. Second, they do not give you case trimmers. Okay, that's understandable, meant for rifle dies. One thing I learned when I was going to go install this last weekend was the RCBS rock chucker master kit does not include mounting hardware. So I went out to Ace Hardware and picked up some. The manual recommends 3/8 inch bolt screws. I got some washers, all that good stuff. I do still have to drill into this reloading bench, but we're going to show you that here. And we're going to use the right drill bit this time. 3/8 inch, it's going to be all good. Let's get down to the tabletop. We're going to show you exactly what you need. We're going to go ahead and getting this thing set up for reloading. So we're going to go ahead and start the installation of this RCBS rock chucker. Big shout out to RCBS for sending this out. I am super excited to get into reloading. I got my dies, I got some casings. Right after this video, we're actually going to be doing a video how to install and resize and deprime 450 Bushmaster cases, so please be on the lookout for that. I still got to do some case prep. I'm going to do a video on case prep and stuff like that, but from my research and all that said, I pretty much can resize and decap most of my cases. I only have 20 of them. So I'll throw them in a tumbler and, you know, trim the cases to length and all that good stuff. I do have a Lyman 51st edition reloading handbook that we're going to be going off of for 450 Bushmaster. So let's go ahead and get this started. So manual recommends you can get the quick accessory plate for this, but sometimes it's just, it all depends. So I went ahead and got some 3.5 inch 3/8 bolts, washers, and fasteners. So like before, we got to drill in. So I'm going to take a Sharpie, and this is kind of where I want it. So we're going to go ahead, mark that, and then we're going to go ahead, mark that. All right, cool. So that'll give me starting points to drill. So I went ahead and, like I said, have a 3/8 inch drill. Nice porta cable, you know. So we're gonna go ahead, drill this out. Make sure it's in the right direction. All right, let's make sure that's all set. And thank God I got some spare rubbish here, because I have to go ahead and now vacuum and swipe up my office. So I'm gonna swipe it into the garbage disposal. And just to make sure, because remember last video I had the wrong holes. Like a glove. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing mounted. Once you get the holes drilled, you want to go ahead, pop that right there, make sure all the holes line up. Now, let's see, do I have to add a wash? No, I won't have to add a wash on this. All right, cool. Pop those in there. Pop that in right there. All right, so it's loosely taken care of. And I have to get, goddamn. So, take a washer first, put it on the bottom side. And take the fastener after it. Obviously, you're going to want an adjustable wrench or a socket to make sure you got everything all tightened down, which I do have. I'll do that after. This is just for the video's sake. Okay. Mount that up right here. You want to make sure these presses are mounted securely, because you got to think, depending on the case or the caliber that you're reloading, you want to make sure that this thing ain't going anywhere. So you do have a little bit of wobble in the Frankfurt Arsenal bench, but it's not going to be detrimental when you're reloading. So now we got that all set. Make sure you take a adjustable wrench. My adjustable wrench is over there. I don't really feel like I need to tell you how to tighten a washer. Torque specs, okay, here's what I'm gonna say to that. Make sure it's tight. Couple ooga doogas, good and tight, you'll be all set. So let's go ahead, we just gotta get the priming arm on here, and then we're gonna just test fit a couple things, and then that's pretty much it. The rock chucker is super easy to install. So let's go ahead, we'll show you how to install the priming arm. So before you go ahead and install your priming arm, you wanna make sure that you take this little Y-wing piece, this is your primer catcher. You want to install it. There's a longer nub and a circular nub. You want to kind of just go put it in the press, and it's supposed to be facing you. Snap that in. Snap that in. Make sure it's all copacetic. There you go. So every time you go to deprime, it's going to end up in one of these little trays. Have a trash barrel handy. Throw it away. Boom. Done. All right. So let's install the priming arm. So when you're going ahead and installing your priming arm, there's a couple things you want to make sure you're aware of. One, don't pre-assemble it like this. Make sure that you take the screw that is meant to go into the side, into the press, screw that in first. It's knurled, so it's easily taken on and off. Okay, there you go. Now, since this is installed incorrectly, you want to make sure that you install it correctly. Now there's a little screw that comes in a bag with your priming arm and all that good stuff. I'm just getting it out. That is the real question. Be careful, because there's a little spring that follows this. So what you're going to want to do is take this little screw. Focus is in. You're going to take that little screw, you're going to take your large primer pocket, because that's typically, there's two sizes, one's large, one's small. Best way to figure out is whatever primer you're using, test fit it, make sure it works. Slide it over like that. Take the little spring, do not lose this because it's very small. Put it in, you're going to have it in this configuration right here. So this spring gives it a little bit of tension, so when you're pumping down on the press, you can deprime it, or you can prime it. Flip it up, because it's going to sit like that when you're going to prime a case. So go ahead, flip this up, start to turn it. There we go. It's going to stop, and there you go. So now when you want to prime something, we're going to actually go ahead, screw this in, screw your handle in, depending on what your preference is. I'm a lefty, so when I sit at this bench, I'm gonna probably, it's easier for me to screw it in from the right side. It does have a lock ring, so we're gonna screw the handle in. And again, screwing a handle in, it's all preference and doesn't really need that much of a explanation, but get it to where it's to the bottom. You're gonna take your lock ring and put it below that. Actually, no, you're supposed to do it. Put the handle on it. Sorry, misread it. I'm looking at the directions. You guys are learning like me. So go ahead, take the lock ring. There you go, boom. Now, thread that bitch on. Thread it into your toggle block, which is pretty much the space where it's going to thread into. Okay, good, boom, done. All right, so you're able to move it up and down. Yes, there is gonna be factory grease on there, which you want. So when you're ready to prime something, flip this up, lift up just a bit, boom. There you go. You know, put your, obviously you're gonna need a shell holder and all that stuff, which let me get that out and show you. Once you go ahead and get your shell holder out, I went ahead and grabbed it from my die set over there. You need it. You do need a 450 Bushmaster shell holder, so there is a little bit of a U-hook on there to kind of hold everything in. So I remove that. This is just for demonstration purposes. Go ahead, pop that in there. Now, when you're going ahead and priming something, this is where the priming tool comes into effect. So you're gonna go pop that in there. It's gonna come down, cartridge is gonna come down, and you can push forward, and that's how it primes. And then once you lift it up, there you go. And once you deprime it, it's gonna go into one of these holes and do its thing. So, guys, that is how you install your RCBS rock chucker to your Frankfurt Arsenal Premier Reloading Bench. Let's go ahead, get up top, and close this video out. So guys, thank you so much for watching today. Like I said, big shout out to RCBS for sending the rock chucker out. I am super excited to get this thing going. We're gonna be resizing and depriming some 450 Bushmaster casings. This thing looks pretty sick. You got the Lee load all in the back for shotgun reloading, and now we got the rock chucker for everything else. I could even load 50 BMG on this probably if I wanted to. I just have to remove this bushing right here and change out the bushings and all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. If you want to pick up anything you see in this video, especially if you're on the green platform, please do me a favor and check it out. Especially when I get the the RCBS rock chucker. I'm gonna leave a link in the description over there as well, and it's on the affiliates page. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to reloading. I love you all. Stay safe, stay shooting. Peace.